All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to our classroom again. My name is Femi Richworld. I represent Speedysuccess Professional. I can ACA online tutor, and our topic today is corporate governance. Corporate governance. Corporate governance. And I'm going to say this is introductory class or introductory lecture. Many of us have heard of the word corporate governance, but we do not actually understand. In this lecture, I will show you what is corporate governance, and then by the time we're done with the second part of the lecture, we all know how to practice it in our various offices or entities. Let's look at our target. Again, you are just joining us, or you are seeing my video for the first time. I am a teacher, a lecturer, a consultant in financial issues, accountancy, and management. Please subscribe to my videos, like, and send your comment. If there's any topic you want me to teach, please put in my comment down below, and I will definitely attend to it. Come on, let's go. We're looking at what the definition of corporate governance, and then we'll also look at the important concepts and nature of corporate governance. Another word for nature is, why do we need to learn corporate governance, or do we need to practice corporate governance? Next is threats to effective corporate governance. What are they? Another is agency issue. We're going to look at what are agency issues and how can we put an end to them. Again, we will look at the board of directors. There are three components of corporate governance. They are the board, the shareholders, and the audit committee. We'll look at the board of directors, what is the qualifications and their roles. We shall also look at shareholders and stakeholders. Who are they? We'll look at audit committee, and then we'll look at benchmarking or best practices in corporate governance. And finally, I will show you examples of corporate failures or corporate governance failures. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, my name is Femi Richworld. Aiyeolowo. I train chartered accountants. I train professionals, and I lead companies in standard structuring, making profitable policies. You need a consultant to help you structure your account or your business. Call 08148421111. You are calling from outside Nigeria, call +234 08148421111. My name is Femi Richworld, and our company is SSP Consult, Speedysuccess Professional. Thank you. Can we go ahead? Let's go. All right, I want to show you three definitions of corporate governance. The first is, we say corporate governance is the set of systems by which investors are protected from expropriation by the management of an entity or a company. The word expropriation means stealing from someone that actually gives you authority to help you manage your property. Expropriation has about 6 definitions if you pick the dictionary. The government can also expropriate from a company where they put in wrong taxation. But that's not where we're going. We're looking at why do we have corporate governance. I prefer the second definition. This definition says corporate governance is a system by which the entity of the activity of an entity, when I say entity, I mean a company, a nation, an association, is directed and controlled in a lawful and responsible manner by those charged with the responsibility of managing the company. Now let me say this. For me, corporate governance is warfare against the corruption in human minds. Warfare against corruption. That's corporate governance. And any country, anywhere in the world, Africa, Nigeria, where there is no corporate governance, that nation will never be profitable. That nation will never be a good nation. Corporate governance is what is missing in Africa, including Nigeria. The government did not see themselves as managing for all, and that's why the systems are failing. Let's fire on. I'm not a politician. I'm just a trainer, a human developer. And one of the things we must tell ourselves the truth is where there is corporate governance, there will be no corruption. Can we continue? Let's take the last definition. In year 2002, a committee called Carved Committee was set up in the UK to look at why do companies fail. And one of the lines in their report says that corporate governance should be defined as a system by which organizations are directed and controlled. I've been able to show you corporate governance definition. Maybe you are writing a report to your company or you want to give an examination answer. Please pick number 2. I love it. Thank you. All right, my next agenda is to look at the importance and nature of corporate governance. Now, when we say nature or objective or reasons of corporate governance, I will just bring in only 5 of them. Number 1, we say corporate governance ensure that the management of a company complies with ethical standards and relevant legislation. They comply with ethical standard and what relevant legislation. It enforces compliance. Number 2, corporate governance fight against corruption, as I said earlier, and promote good labor relationship and safeguard the rights of the consumers. When there is corporate governance, labor are not cheated. Rights of the consumers to enjoy quality production is also not neglected. A lot of companies in the world are following and practicing good corporate governance. And as we move ahead, I will mention some of them. Number 3, corporate governance facilitates internal audit, monitoring and evaluation of the internal controls which help to reduce all kind of business risk. Where there is corporate governance, there will be internal audit. And where there is internal audit, there will be internal control policies which the audit has to monitor and ensure they are functioning. Can I say that again? I said where there is corporate governance, there will be what? The internal audit department. Where there is internal audit department, these people will not be made to be idle. Internal control policies will be set up for them, which they monitor. And the major reason is to ensure that business risk do not swallow the investors' money. Am I making any sense? Corporate governance. We're looking at the introduction to it and nature or significance of corporate governance. Number 4, corporate governance promotes commercial life and profitability of a firm. I said earlier that corporate governance is the warfare of the mind, ensuring that interests of the stakeholders are protected. So when you fight to win in business in an ethical manner, there must be profitability. Can I take the last one? Number 5, corporate governance reduce the excess remuneration of the directors despite the poor performance of their entity. And this I say without no fear that countries like Nigeria I think the parliament should have reduced their salary since the economic is not performing. The executive should also reduce their remunerations since the economy is not performing. But up to this moment, all these big men, all these offices keep earning and borrowing money to keep the economic running. I think it's not wise. Let us begin corporate governance. Ladies and gentlemen, I move one more time. Please remember to subscribe. Click on the subscribe button if you know that this lecture is good for you and you're enjoying it. You know our service is good. Please don't swallow and without vomiting anything. Click, like, put up a comment. It will help us to teach our generation correctly. All right, the last in today's class, when we meet next class, I will discuss the threats and agency issue. Today we're looking at basic concepts in corporate governance. Number one is honesty and probity. This concept allows that an entity provide informations concerning their product services without any falsehood. Accountability ensures that the directors see themselves as employees of the investors or the shareholders, and therefore they ensure that reports concerning the activity of the company are given at the right time and at a balanced level. Independency. Corporate governance requires that a non-executive director should be the head of the audit committee. In our outline, we have audit committee. You will look at it later. And because of this, such a person should not be a man or woman that has any interest in this company. So, if that happens, the independent or non-executive director has right to challenge or query any wrong spending. Some companies, some banks that collapsed in Nigeria, one of the errors they committed was that their former MD was the head of audit committee. And that implies that there will be no query on wrong spending. The company collapsed. Listen very well. Where there is no corporate governance, the business will surely collapse. Reputation. Good corporate governance will put your company in a very good name. Today we are talking about sustainability reporting. Companies like Nestle Food will remain Owando, Cadbury, where they failed before but they are back. Nigeria Breweries, Coca-Cola. What is keeping them is when you keep practicing good corporate governance, it gives a name. One of the names you will get is customer loyalty. Customers will want to buy from you whether you are producing wrong or not. It takes 3 years for customers to believe you are not producing right. Coca-Cola had a problem when the COVID came. They brought a type of Coca-Cola and put up a price. The people ran away from them. They went back and checked. They put up another one. The people are back. Let us take note. Your corporate governance give you a name. Integrity is like probity. It's straightforward, in and out. Your financial statement must be this type that someone can make decision on without any fear. Fairness. It means that everyone managing the business should think of others' welfare. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Femi Richworld. I represent Speedysuccess Professional. We are professionals training the next chartered accountant, the next executive, the next CEO, the next manager, helping organizations to be structured very well. When we meet the next class, I will be discussing threats, effective corporate governance, agency problems. Please follow me up, subscribe, and you will definitely see the next 2 lectures. Have a nice day. God bless you. Subscribe.